Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be transforming and importing data from our data source. We now have a connection to our data source, which is the AdventureWorks database. As you can see, most of my folders here are empty. I haven't got any tables at the moment. To begin, I'm going to right click on the connected data source and select import new tables. The navigator gives us a preview of all the tables and views contained in this connected database. So I'm going to be selecting some dimension table and a fact table. I'm going to place a check next to the boxes against the tables I want. So I want this table called dim customer, so I'll place a check there. I also want this table called dim date, so I'll place a check there. I want this table called dim geography. I'll place another check next to it. I'm going to scroll down a bit and there is one called dim product. I'm going to check that. There's also dim product category. I'm going to check that. I'm also going to check the dim product subcategory, and then I'm going to scroll down and look for a fact table. So I'm going to select this fact internet sales, so I place a check next to the table name. So I've selected 7 tables. So before I bring the data from these tables into my model, I want to transform the data. If you want to load the data in the table as it is without any transformation, then you can hit the load button and that will load all the data into the model. But I want to perform some transformation, so I'm going to click on the transform data tab. This opens up the Power Query editor. From this Power Query editor, I can select only the data I want to import into my model. So I'm going to filter some information out of some of the tables because I'm not going to need them in my model. If we take a look on the left hand corner here, we have queries. The 7 queries represent each of the tables listed here. So I've got the dim customer table selected. So I'm just going to scroll along to see which columns I want to remove from the table. So I've got the Spanish education and the French education. I don't want those 2 columns, so I'm going to select the columns I want to remove. You can select multiple columns just by holding down the Control key and then clicking on the columns. So I've clicked on these 2 columns. I want to remove them from the table. So I'm going to right click and select remove columns, and that removes the column from this query. It does not affect the original data source. I also want to remove the Spanish occupation column and the French occupation column. So I select both columns, right click and remove columns. All the actions you've taken are recorded in this area here called applied steps. So if you do make a mistake, you can go back a step just by deleting the step from the applied step. The next table I want to transform is the dim date. So I'm going to click on the dim date table. Again, I want to remove some information. I'm going to scroll through the columns to see what I want to remove. I'm going to remove this column called Spanish Day Name of the Week. I'm also going to remove this column called French Day Name of the Week. So I've got both columns selected. I right click and remove columns. I'm going to scroll through the columns. I want to remove the Spanish month name and the French month name. So I've got both columns selected. Right click, remove columns. The next table I want to transform is the dim geography table. I'm going to scroll through the columns of this table to see what I want to remove. So I want to remove the Spanish country region name and the French country region name. So I've got both columns selected. I'll right click and remove columns. The next table I want to transform is the dim product table. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to scroll through the columns in the table to see which one I want to remove. I want to remove the Spanish product name. I'll select that, and the French product name. I've got both columns selected. I'll right click and remove columns. I'm going to select the French description, Chinese description, Arabic description. I'm going to scroll through Hebrew, Thai, German. I'm going to scroll through Japanese, and Turkish description. So I've got all those columns selected. I'm going to right click and remove them. The next table I want to transform is the dim product category. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to scroll through the columns and see which ones I want to remove. So I've got the Spanish product category name selected. I'm going to also click on the French product category name. So I right click and remove columns. The next table I want to transform is the dim product subcategory. So I click on that and I'm going to scroll through the columns here for what I want to filter out. I want to filter out the Spanish product subcategory name and the French product subcategory name. So I'll right click and remove both columns. I'm not going to transform the last table, which is the fact internet sales. I've now transformed the table data, so I'm now ready to import the tables into my model. So there is an import option here, so I'm going to click on it and that will import the tables. You can see it's trying to import it now, so we'll give it time to do the import. So you can see the operation is in progress. So it's trying to bring in all the data from the tables and import them into the model. So you can see we have a success, which means that it has finished processing the data. I'm going to click on the close button. Make sure you save the changes to your model. To do that, click on the file option here and select the save all option. If we take a look inside the tabular model explorer, we could see the tables that have been imported from the data source. These are the 7 tables that I have imported into the model. And if we take a look at the relationships between the tables was also established and also imported. So these are the relationship between the tables. So that's it. In this video, we transformed and imported data into our model. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.